Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Let's get into this gorgeous green makeup. If you're interested, just keep watching. Okay, so I'm starting off with this Huda Beauty concealer. Everything will be in the description, and I'm using this as a really light shade because I'm using a bright green on my eyes. So I want to use something that will let the color reflect really bright. So I'm going to go ahead and blend it in with this Morphe brush, and I'm just making sure it's nice and blended. I also used some of this one size setting powder just to set that down. That powder is really nice and thin, and I'm using a powder puff, making sure it's nice and ready for the eyeshadow. So I'm going in with, actually first is my bronzer. I'm using my bronzer just to put it in my crease. I like to do this because it's kind of seamless, and I'm just going back and forth, kind of mapping out where I want the eyeshadow to go. So if you're having a hard time, I suggest do that. I'm using this, what is it, Melt Makeup palette? Yes, I think it is. It's going to be in the description, and those were the colors I used. So I'm using the same brush, and I'm just going lightly in my crease, not trying to put too much pressure because I want to make sure it's nice and blended. So if you are a beginner, make sure you just keep blending back and forth, girl. You're going to get it. It's going to blend out. And here you just see me doing that so I can have like a line of where I want my eyeshadow to stop. Now, it's nothing permanent. I will go back over it with my concealer, but just to map it out. So I'm taking this Morphe and Ariel brush, and I'm just packing that green color on. And as you can see, girl, it is vibrant. It's giving very much spring and summer. So if you're looking for something vibrant like that, I definitely recommend this palette. The colors are fire. So now I'm going in with this blending brush, and I'm just going to make sure that that color is nice and blown out, making sure it's blending in with the colors that I'm going to put on the end. I am going to go in with a darker green, and I just want to make sure it's blending in real nice. So yeah, I'm using a really tiny brush for this. If you have small eyes or if you're a beginner, I suggest using a smaller brush because you can have more control. It's not going everywhere, and you won't feel overwhelmed. So I'm going in with the green color, and I'm pulling that color out on the edge because I want it kind of like a wing. So I'm just pulling it out, and I'm going back and forth. And I'm doing this before I do my base makeup just in case I need to clean up. So if you don't feel comfortable, I suggest doing your eyes first, and then you can go ahead and clean it up after, girl, because nobody ain't trying to start all over with the base. That's not happening. So yeah, just keep blending and take your time. Okay, so I'm going back and forth, and also I'm stopping and looking straight on, making sure you can see that eyeshadow with my eyes open. If you have hooded eyes, I do recommend that you look straight on, make sure your eyeshadow is to your liking and that you can see it when your eyes is open, because we all know with hooded eyes, you open your eyes and girl, the eyeshadow will be gone, and that's not the vibe. So yeah, make sure you keep checking and just keep blending. I'm blending back and forth, making sure those colors are nice and melted together. All right, so for my bottom lash line, I'm going to go in with the brown color, and then I'm going to put that darker green color on the outside, just the outer half of my eye. I'm not going to take it in too far, and I'm just using this little pencil brush to make sure that's nice and blended. For my waterline, I'm going to be using this Makeup Forever pencil. I don't know the shade, but it'll be in the description. It's just a light color. Now I'm going in with my Fenty Beauty mattifying primer. I did put this primer on and let it sit for a bit. I'm going to do my lashes off camera while my primer is sitting in, so it can be nice and, into my skin, not sitting on top. All right, so these are my foundations. The Born This Way matte foundation and the Makeup by Mario Surreal foundation. I use these two because I wanted kind of like a mixture of both. The Makeup by Mario is very natural and radiant, but I need a little bit of mattification. I do have oily skin, and it is the warmer months now, so I'm trying to make sure my makeup stays all day. And I'm just blending that in with this Morphe brush. I'm sure everyone has tried this brush. If you haven't, girl, get to it. I hope they still sell it. Actually, I'm not really sure, but anyway, the brush is bomb, and I'm just packing that into my skin, moving the product around. Don't forget to get by your ear, and don't forget to get the chin area. Next, I'm going to be going in with my concealer. I'm using two by Huda Beauty. One is a little bit lighter than the other. And I'm putting that on all the normal places, under the eyes, bridge of the nose, chin, forehead. And I did put a little bit on my upper lip. For my bronzer, I'm using a Fenty Matchstick. Of course, you already know I love this. And this is in the shade Espresso. And I'm just going around the perimeter of my face, making sure that face is nice and snatched and bronzed. I'm going to go ahead and blend that bronzer in, and as you can see, I'm using a dense brush. I like a brush that's not like too fluffy. I want the product to stay exactly where I want it. I don't want to be moving all around my face. It starts slipping and sliding. That's not the vibe. So yeah, I'm just blending that in, and I'm actually kind of blending it upward. All right, now that I'm done with the bronzer, which I forgot to blend my forehead, but I'm going to go back and, take care of that. But I'm blending it out first, and I'm using this little Morphe brush. I love that brush. I'm going to put it in the description. Maybe I'll put it on the screen for you, but it's so bomb. So I went ahead and went back and blended out my bronzer, and then I'm just going to go in with my beauty blender and hit underneath my eyes. All right, so now that I'm blending under my eyes, this is going to be where I'm going to clean up the edge of my eyeshadow. I want to make sure it's nice and sharp, so I'm going to be using my beauty blender to do that. And as you can see, I'm going to take it along the side of my eye. I'm not going to put too much pressure. I'm just going to make sure it is snatched on the end. Now I'm taking that lighter concealer shade. I'm just going right underneath my eye. Just add a little bit of brightness. I want it a little brighter. And while I'm letting that sit, I'm doing my nose contour, or bronzer, I should say. And I'm using this little Morphe brush. And I'm using the Fenty Beauty bronzer as well. The same one I used on my face, I'm going to use that on my nose. So I'm just going back in with that beauty blender to blend out the lighter color. If you ever seen the e.l.f. sponge, it's like an e.l.f. sponge. It has a really sharp tip on it. That would have even been better for this, because this sponge is kind of big. So you got to like pinch it and make sure it's like getting right in where you want it and not messing up anything. So definitely give that one a try, and it's affordable. So we love that. Here, I'm just going over my bronzer again, just because I did just blend underneath my eyes, and I want to make sure it's all nice and seamless. I'm also going to go in with my foundation brush to go in between my bronzer and my concealer, just to make sure it's nice and seamless, no harsh lines. And then I'm going to get ready to set the face. Before I set underneath my eyes, I have to blend them out, girl, because my eyes will crease and crease and crease, and I do not want them to be creased up today, okay? So I'm blending that out really nicely with my beauty blender, and then I'm going to go ahead and set. Okay, so I'm taking this powder puff from Amazon. I talk about this in a lot of my other videos. I still love this thing. I love that little tip on it. You can get right in the corners of your eye. Make sure it's nice and packed right there in the corner. No creasing, baby, under those eyes. So I really love this for that. And I'm just doing the same thing on both eyes. Also, I'm using the Laura Mercier translucent honey powder to do this. And setting under my eyes, I'm just telling you, it's my favorite part. As you can see right here, your girl is feeling it. I love setting my face. It's like when your face just comes together, I love it. Don't forget to set the rest of the areas that you put that concealer. Make sure your concealer is not moving around. It's nice and set in place. That's what I'm doing with this beauty sponge, or powder puff actually. I'm just making sure everything is nice and seamless. And I'm going to get into my bronzer. And I'm pretty sure I use Charlotte Tilbury bronzer today. And I'm using this Makeup by Oreo brush with Morphe. I love these brushes. They're so nice. And I'm just going to go ahead and blend that in. When I put it on my bronzer, I like to pat it on first and then blend it out, because I feel like I'm able to put the product down and then move it around. Then I'm going to set the rest of my face with this Huda Beauty setting powder. The shade will be in the description because I cannot remember it right now. But I am going over top of my entire face, just making sure everything is nice and set. I do love a matte face. So yeah, if you have dry skin, I wouldn't really recommend this part. If you do, I would go really, really light and then spray it with some setting spray or something like that. Definitely like a hydrating setting spray if you have dry skin. But for me, I'm just going to go in because the skin needs to be matte. Then I'm going to go ahead and spray with the Airbrush Flawless Finish, girl. What am I saying? Spray. I'm going to put that in the description. I'm taking this Rare Beauty pencil and just darkening my beauty marks that got lost in the sauce when I was putting on that concealer. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring those back to life because those are my girls. They are cute. Then I'm going to go in with my bottom lash mascara. This is my favorite one by MAC. This one is really small, so it makes it easy to get my little small bottom lashes. Then I'm going to line my lips with one of my favorite brown liners. This is Makeup by Mario one. And I love that it comes with a brush on the other side. So once I'm done lining my lips, I'm going to go ahead and blend that out. And it just comes together. So it's very, very easy. I don't have to use my fingers, which I typically use. And I use if I don't use this brush. This pencil. So yeah. I love that it has that on the back. For my lipstick, I'm going to be using this Soft Matte Lip Cream by NYX. I will put it in the description, and I'm going to go ahead and blend that out with my fingers. Exactly what I was just saying. This is how I will be blending out my lip liner if it did not have that brush. But this is it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, give it a big thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.